Hey, welcome to my 30-minute yoga class. Thanks so much for popping in. Take off those shoes, roll out your mat, and let's get started. Let's go ahead and bring our feet to the top of the mat. Toes parallel, knees soft, tailbone under, roll the shoulders into the ears, and then drop them down and back. Palms forward, mountain pose. Chin nice and level. Soften those knees. Let's fan both arms up. Inhale to the top, and then on your exhale, fold. Slide down your legs, soften your chin to your chest, shake your head no. Nod a yes right here, release that neck. Half lift, fingers to your shins or thighs. Exhale, release. Go ahead, bend the knees. We're gonna step the left leg straight back, low lunge. Light on those fingers, lift your heart like a cobra. Good, now step your back foot in, maybe a footprint, and start to straighten out that front right leg. Pull your right hip towards the back of the wall. One more. Sink back into that low lunge. Lift up your back heel. Come to the ball of your back foot. Lighten your fingers. Open that hip. Good. On the next breath, step in. Pick up the hips. Bow your heart. Stretch out that hamstring. You want to be mindful that this knee is soft, so you can always come up to your thigh or your shin. Put a nice bend in your front leg. You're going to go ahead and power up off of that back leg. Step both feet together. Soft knees. Round your way up. Slow, slow, like a rag doll. Head up last. Stack everything. Fan it up. We'll do side two. Exhale, fold. Let's rise up halfway. Fingers to shins or thighs. And then exhale, release it. Soften that chin. Bend your knees. Let's step the right leg back first this time. Knee over ankle. Lift that heart, low lunge. Stretch for your hip flexor. Enjoy. Now step it in, a footprint on that back right foot. Start to straighten. Pull your left hip back. Bow, pyramid pose. You're welcome to be on blocks or your shin. Let's do one more. Pick up your heel. Roll to the ball of that back foot as you come up into that low lunge. Lift your heart, lighten your fingers. Some sensation for your hip flexor. Excellent. Step your foot in, about a footprint worth, and then pull the other hip back. Soft front knee. Go ahead and bend that front knee. Step onto your front leg, power forward. Forward fold, half lift. Nice flat back. Exhale, release, and let's roll it all up like a rag doll. Push down through both legs. Inhale to the top. Both arms will match overhead. Slide them to your heart center. Let's go ahead and take a balanced pose. Step onto your left foot. Lighten on your right heel. It's just going to take some weight off your right foot. And then start to pick up that knee. Bring it as close as you can to hip height. This is standing staff. Stack the bones. Heart forward. You can wobble if you need it. Let's go ahead and hug the shin. Pull it in a little tighter. Circle the ankle on the right side. So balance work is going to really help you out in whatever activities you're doing. It's going to help with stabilization. Take the top of that foot with your right hand. Gently pull it towards the glute. Quad stretch. Reach your left arm forward. Soft on your left knee. Try to parallel your hips, parallel your knees. Excellent. We're just going to offer the option. Don't worry about it if it's not on the menu today. Spin your hands to your inner foot and then kick your hand. Royal dancer. Start to reach forward. If it doesn't feel right, you'll stay in your quad stretch. Good. To come out of it, slowly release. No slingshot. Release the right foot. Set it down. Pedal out those feet. Inhale, walk. Reach both arms up. Hands to heart center. Let's go side two. Lighten on your left foot, your left heel. Pick it up. So you can float that knee to about hip height. Pick a focal point. In yoga, we call that the drishti. So it's where you're fixing your gaze. And now let's go ahead and hug that shin. Pull it in towards your heart. Circle the ankle around. Some nice big movement here for the ankle foot. Lubricate those bones, the little joints too. Take the left hand, catch the top of your left foot, gently pull it back. Quad stretch. Reach that right arm out, shoulder height for a little bit of stability and counterbalance. You are welcome to stay right here. If it feels good for your body, and if maybe you want to get adventurous, take your hand to the inside of your foot. Start to kick your hand, royal dancer pose. Stretch your torso forward. Fix your gaze. That drishti. Spot on the floor. Soft standing knee. Slowly release the foot. Come out of it with control. Both feet to the ground. Walk it out. Tailbone under as you inhale, both arms up. And then exhale, fold, bow into those legs like a swan dive. Shake your head out here. Good, half lift. We're gonna head to the floor next. Bend your knees, find the mat with your hands. Step it back, 1 footprint at a time. Top of a plank. Hands under the shoulders. Spread those fingers wide and see if you can kind of grip the mat. With those finger pads, tuck the toes, firm your quads, firm your glutes. We're gonna shift the weight forward, shoulders in front of the wrists. Your first chaturanga. Let those elbows just scrape the ribs on the way down. Belly finds the mat, tops of the feet rest. Peel yourself up, baby cobra. Inhale. And then on the exhale, come back down. Go ahead and flow with it for a few breaths. Inhaling up, however high you like, and exhale it down. So if your back is a little bit unhappy, that's what I call it, then you go stay low, baby cobra. One more. So honor that spine. Good. On your exhale, push through the heels of the hands. Drive your hips towards your heels. A nice child's pose. Counter stretch, forehead to the mat. Tiptoe onto your fingers. Lift your wrists and elbows off the mat here. Good. Shift that weight forward. Take hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Take a cat. So round your back, chin to chest, tailbone under. Reverse. Belly down, heart up, tailbone up. One more, round it. Exhale. And then inhale, cow tilt. Inhale, curl the toes under. Take weight to your legs. And then pick up your knees, downward dog. Let your head just glide between your biceps. And then gaze at your shins. Bring your ribs towards your thighs. You are upside down, kind of like an inverted V here. Pedal out those heels. Take a moment and just stretch those lower legs. If you've been doing lots of cardio, kind of jumping or kickboxing or running, get those lower legs, stretch them out. Big toes close. And we're gonna reach, let's go with the left leg first. So reach the left leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Go ahead, open the left knee and bend that knee so that the foot falls back towards your head. And then let's extend the knee. Kick the leg up to the sky, square your hips, draw your left knee forward. Step that foot between your hands. Light on the fingers, we've been here before. Low lunge, but this time push through your legs. Rise up to crescent. Stack head, heart, hips, straight line. Sink an inch lower. Let's add a shoulder stretch. So you're gonna wrap. For this one, we're gonna have a little eagle arm. So left arm under, right. You can either give yourself a hug, squeeze forearm to forearm, or fingertip to palm. Double bind. You decide. Sink an inch lower. Deep breath here. Slow release. Span both arms up. Match your hands at the top. And then on your exhale, go ahead, tip forward. Reach your spine long. Crown of the head to the top corner of the room. Step onto your front foot and glide your back leg up. Warrior 3 balance, which I'm struggling with. Find a spot, stare at it, square the hips, soften the standing legs, stretch those arms up overhead, warrior 3. Square the hips so that the back toenails face the ground. Beautiful, swim those arms back towards your hips, soften your standing leg and see if you can reach your fingers for the floor. Land right into that low lunge, lift your heart, and I know that's a tough transition. Plant those hands, step to your plank, shift the weight over the wrists, chaturanga, like a tricep push-up. Any amount of back bend, heart open, collarbones wide, roll it back down. Push the heels of the hands into the floor. Child's pose. You can stay here for a moment if you'd like, or you can come right through, tucking those toes under, making your way right back to downward facing dog. So really reaching your rib cage for your thighs. I'm just flipping to the other mat so I can show you side 2. Bring your big toes close. As you lift those sit bones, stretch your right leg up to the sky. Side 2. Let's open the hip first. Allow that stretch to happen. I feel it in the opposite hamstring and the hip flexor of the leg that's up. Bending that knee, and now extend your leg. Kick it to the sky. Square the hips. Draw that knee forward and through. Right foot is going to step between your hands. Keep the hips really high. Light on the fingers. Push your legs down. Rise up. Crescent lunge. And then sink an inch lower. Bring a nice stretch for your hip flexor. And that left side. Let's take a shoulder stretch here. We're gonna wrap. So the right arm underneath, left on top. Either wrap, stacking elbows. You could bring forearm to forearm or fingertip to palm. You decide what feels good for your shoulders. But drop it in slower. Challenge those legs. Draw your navel up. Release the hands, fan them both up, match at the top. We're gonna tip forward for our balance. So stretch your arms back. Pick a spot on the floor, step on your front leg, and glide that back leg up. Find your balance, warrior three. And you can wobble, that's fine. Sweep those arms overhead. Embrace the conversation that your foot is having with the floor right now. Warrior three pose, back toenails face the ground. Good, to come out of it, swim your arms back to your hips, pinkies to your thighs, and then bend your front knee, and then just lightly place those hands back to the floor. Wiggle to the ball of your back foot, back heels lifted, low lunge. You know this one. Plant the hands, step it back, plank pose, shift it forward over the wrist, chaturanga. Any amount of cobra or up dog. Exhale, release all the way down, bow to the floor. Let's go ahead and bend your left forearm and the left elbow and rest your forehead on your forearm. Bring that right heel in towards your glute. Cast your right arm back. See if you can find your foot or your ankle. A pant leg would work too. You could always use a strap, make your arm a little longer. An option here for a little bit more of a back bend. Start to stretch the left arm and the left leg up and away as if you're doing a warrior three on the ground. A little bit of a half locust. Maybe consider kicking the hand on the opposite side, opening into half bow. Slow release, bend that elbow, release your foot. You can shake out your hips. We're gonna just switch sides. So bend the right elbow, rest your forehead on your forearm. Pick up that left heel towards your glute and swim, just kind of swing that arm back. See if you can find it, connect with it. It's okay if you don't. You can always use a strap. You can use pant leg, whatever you can find. And then I'm just gonna offer some options from here. If you're feeling a lot of sensation in your quadricep or your front thigh, perfect, just hang out there. If you have more, consider stretching right arm out and the right leg out. So you're kind of like a warrior three feeling here in your spine. Kicking the opposite foot into that hand will lift you up into half locust, half bow. Strengthen that back body. Slowly release it. Bend both elbows. Bring your hands right underneath your forehead. Shake your hips right and left. Massage your quads to the floor. Let's counter stretch. Plant the hands underneath the shoulders. Pick yourself up. Take the hips back to heels, child's pose. You can rest your forehead to the floor or bend your elbows and rest your forehead on your hips. Deep breath into that lower back. Good. Tiptoe your hands to the right side of your mat. As far as they'll go, bump your hips to the left. Stretch out your side. Excellent. Big breath in. We'll walk the other way. Walk those hands off to the left side as you push your hips to the right. Breath in your lungs. Let it go. Excellent. Through the center here. We'll plant those hands, shift the weight into all fours. Curl the toes under, charge up those knees. Downward dog, tailbone to the sky. Biceps are gonna frame your ears. Excellent. The heels are heavy. One more breath, stretching out those hamstrings. Beautiful. Big toes close. Go ahead and reach that left leg for the sky, three-legged dog. Draw your left knee forward, step left foot between the hands. Spiral your back heel to the floor. So spin your back foot down, push through both legs, warrior one. Strong legs, square your hips to the front. Good. Let's go ahead and sleep the hands back behind your lower spine. See if you can interlace. Drop the knuckles to the floor, expand your chest. If that feels good, stay there. Otherwise, you might consider coming into a humble warrior, dropping your rib cage to the inside of your thigh, letting your shoulder connect with your knee. Let your head drop, let your arms fall up and over. Release those fingertips. Plant the hands, pick up your back heel, float that leg back, see if you can hover it. Work the core strength. So the right leg's up, chaturanga. Any amount of cobra, up dog, or somewhere in between. Let's roll right through the feet. So pike the hips up and then flip the toes down. Heels are heavy, downward dog. Good. We're going to go into side 2. So bring your big toes close to one another and we'll float the right leg up. Whichever side we didn't do yet. Do the other side. Draw that knee forward and through. Step the foot in between the hands. Remember, you're on side 2. Spiral your back heel down. Drive those legs down for warrior 1. Reach both arms up. Sink into that front leg. Knees in the same line as your toes. Fingertips stretching for the sky. And then we'll exhale, fingers behind your lower back. See if you can interlace. Drop those knuckles. Open the heart, expand. You can stay right here. This might be great, might be plenty. If you want to bow, here's your chance to bow for humble warrior. I just like to rest the rib cage on the inner thigh, the shoulder on the knee. Bow the head. Element of surrender. Release those fingertips to the ground. Spiral that back heel up. See if you can float your leg back. So you're coming into a 3-legged plank. Belly in. Shift it forward, chaturanga. Any amount of cobra or up dog. Roll through those feet. Pike the hips up back. Downward facing dog. Heels are heavy. Stretch the outsides and the backs of the thighs. Good. Walk your pinky toes to the outer edges of your mats and bring your thumbs together a little bit closer towards your face. We're going to take bound down dog. So let's put the left hand stretch to the outside of your right ankle and then spiral. Look underneath your right armpit. Little twist here for your back. Strong shoulder to support you. Slowly unwind. Thumb to thumb in front of you. We'll switch it out. Right hand stretches for the outside of your left ankle or shin. Open up the ribs. Twist. Strong supporting arm. Soft elbow. Slowly release. Plant that hand. We're going to walk your hands back. Spin your heels in just a little bit. Toes angle outward as you sit down into malasana or yogi squat. Sitting the hips down low. Pushing the knees out. Open. Palms at the heart center. You might even consider a crow pose here if it's in your practice for an arm balance. So I'll walk you into this. For crow pose, planting the hands, a couple handprints in front of your toes. Pick up the hips and lift the knees above your elbow joints. Place them on the backs of your arms, triceps. And then start to shift your weight forward into your hands. Eyes on the floor, please. If this feels challenging, stay. If it's available in your body to float your legs up, go ahead and 1 toe at a time, 1 pound at a time. Float those toes up off the floor, keeping your drishti fixed on the floor. To come out of crow bakasana, lower your toes back down. Allow your heels to melt back down. Lift your chest back up, malasana. Slowly release the fingers to the floor. As you do, lift those hips. Heel toe your feet back to center. Soft knees, and we'll ragdoll hang. Catch opposite elbows and just shake your torso from right to left. Sway in the wind. Excellent. With this next breath, we'll take our fingertips to the ground. Half lift. If you need to come to shins or a block, you always can. Exhale, release. Walk the hands forward, 1 handprint at a time. Coming to that plank pose. Strong core, strong shoulders. Go ahead and bring your right knee down to the floor. Right shin is going to angle out 45 degrees. Plant your right hand on the floor, right underneath your eyes, and then reach your left arm open and roll to the inside of your left foot. Gate pose. Now you can stay right here if that feels challenging. Otherwise, go ahead and look down at your fingers, look at the mat a few inches in front of your fingers, and float that back leg up into a half moon balance. Kneeling. Need to pad up your bottom knee, go ahead and pad it. Option to bind, so bending the top knee, reach that left arm back, perhaps connecting with the top of the foot or the ankle, coming into like a little like bow, is what it's gonna feel like. Sugar cane here on your knee. Slowly release what you're holding. Swim that arm to the floor, allow your left foot to touch down. Bring both knees to the mat, child's pose. Roll out those wrists. Rock from right to left through the hips. Deep breath in, and we'll do side 2. So we're going to shift the weight forward. Palms under shoulders. Walk your legs back. Tuck the toes under. And get everything alive here. Turn it on. Core on, legs on. Okay, prepping for side 2. left knee to the center of the mat. You're going to kick out your left heel, 45 degrees, left hand underneath your eyes. Roll to the inside of your right leg. Stretch your right arm up. Gate pose on side 2. Good. Now, if that feels challenging, you'll just stay. Otherwise, go ahead and gaze down at your fingertips of the mat. Pick a drishti and float that right leg up. Half moon balance. Flexing the foot, outer edge of the leg, up to the sky. Option to bind if it's in your practice. Go ahead and bend your top knee and reach your right hand back. Connect with it if it's available. Opening through that quad. Breath in here. And then we'll slowly release back to where you came from. Slowly unwind the whole shape. Take the knees to the mat. Child's pose. Hips to heels. Roll out those wrists. Let your forehead rest. I like to do like a little wave with my hands here. Good. Good. We're going to head to our cool down phase. Shift the weight forward. You're going to crisscross your ankles behind you and rock back into Sukhasana. So it's just crossed ankle pose. Rock from side to side and pull the flesh off of your, we'll say take the pillows off the couch. You're going to pull your muscle off the bone. Inhale, reach it up. Flex both feet. Nice tall back. Let's twist to the right first. So reach your right hand behind you. Catch the outside of your thigh. Look over that back shoulder. Good. Keep your front arm as it is. Take the back arm. Windmill it up and over into a side stretch. Pushing your hips into the floor. Maybe look up or you can look down. Press both hips down, unwind that side stretch, and then we're going to make a Y with your arms and reach your heart towards your right knee. Really walk your fingers forward, bow your head. Hips are heavy. Good. Come back up, one fingertip at a time, walk it on in. Rock to your tailbone and switch the crossing of your legs. Side 2, inhale, reach up. You can rock side to side, really get on those sit bones. If you need to pull the pillows off the couch, do it. Twist to the left. Fingers behind you, look over your back shoulder. Touch the outside of that thigh with your opposite arm. You're gonna leave the front arm where it is, and then just shift your back arm up and over into a side stretch. Lengthen that arm up, 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 bicep by the ear. Maybe even look at the sky. As you root your hips down for a side stretch, push into those legs here. We're gonna make that Y shape. Bring your heart, your chest down towards your left thigh. And then crawl your fingers forward, stretch through the hips and the lower back. Excellent. Tiptoe your way back up. We'll uncross the legs and extend them out for wide angle pose. So flexing, toes up, knees up, sitting on the edges of the sit bones. Let's just walk those fingertips forward. Any amount here. And if you are on a hardwood floor, and your heels are uncomfortable, you can always kind of like roll up some mat here and protect those heels. Bow, bow into the floor. Some of you might be forehead on the ground. Some of you might be fist stacked. Elbows is good enough for me. One more breath here. Lock it up, one breath to the top. Lift the crown of the head to the sky. Let's take the left hand outside of the left shin. Reach your right arm up, side stretch. Some of you might be really bending. You might be able to connect with the outside edge of your foot. Push down through both legs. Let's return to the center and switch sides. Right hand outside of the right shin. Reach the left arm up, side stretch. And if you're able to connect with the outside edge of your foot with that right hand, go ahead and do it. Take that side stretch. Big breath in the lungs. And then we exhale to come back to the center. Let's put bends in both of the knees here. So gently bend the knees and then draw the heels back towards the center of your mat. We're going to do a couple fun rolls like a ball. So check that you have room behind you. Catch your shins and let's rock and roll forward and back. Massage your spine. Take one more. And we'll meet on the floor here. Keeping both knees into your chest. Just rock it out from right to left now. Head will rest. Good. We're going to take both knees over to one side. Just choose whichever side you'd like. Gently soften those knees to the floor. Stretch the opposite arm out. Twisting through the back, but gently. Good. With your exhale breath, roll those knees back in through the center. And then we'll switch it. Gently melt those knees to the opposite side of your mat. Stretch the opposite arm out and away. And I like to rest that same side arm on top of the legs, just to create a little bit of tension, a little leverage. Good. With your exhale, release the top of the leg. Squeeze both knees up through the center. Curl up, touch your heels. So you're coming into a double leg stretch. And then send both legs and both arms out. Push your low back down. We're going to do 2 more. Exhale it in. Lift a little higher. And then inhale it long. Stretch it out. 1 more. Exhale. And hold it, hold it, hold it. For 1 more breath. If you're starting to shake, that's good. And then release. Woo, bend your knees. Cast them from right, left. A nice little windshield wiper. Great work. We're going to step those feet in a comfortable distance. Check. We'll walk our hands down and see if your middle finger can scrape your heel. That would be a perfect placement to put the feet right under the knees. Looking at the ceiling here, start to push your feet down into the floor. Lift your hips up. This is our bridge pose. If it's available in your body to walk your hands together, start to wriggle up onto your shoulder blades and interlace your fingers behind your back. Try to keep your eyes up during bridge pose, especially if you are binding your hands behind your back. So you can always roll back down and look at the screen if you need to see what it is, and then get back up into it. We'll heel toe our feet a little closer. Engage your inner thighs, and let's send the left leg to the sky. Single leg bridge balance. Try to keep your hips parallel, and we'll lower, plant that left foot close to the right foot. Keep the hips high, lighten on the other foot and send it up. Right leg reaches up. Try to square those hips as you balance. And then we'll slowly set the foot down with control. Lift your hips a little higher, release your interlace, and then roll your spine down 1 vertebra at a time. Great work. Extend your left leg, flex the foot, cross that ankle over the other thigh. You can push it open, or you can reach through the window of your legs and hug it in for a pigeon stretch or a figure 4 stretch. Some of you might be able to catch the shin, and that's welcome. If it feels good in your body and your tailbone stays anchored, do it. HA sound, back of the throat. Good. We'll release what you're holding. Uncross it, switching sides. Extend that right leg, flex the foot, cross it over the other thigh. You can push it open or reach through and hook the other hamstring. Check in on the spine. It should be fully supported on the floor. You might consider catching the shin if it's within reach. Let your back be heavy. Open up that hip. All the poses you held today. Let the benefit of that sink in here. Slowly release. Uncross what you're holding and step your feet apart. Knock your knees together. Hands into your belly here. You're going to make sort of like a diamond shape, index to thumb and thumb to index. Place it over the center of the belly here, and we're going to do some really focused breathing for our Shavasana or our relaxation. So inhale into that belly, inflate your stomach like it's a balloon. Breathe in, big belly breath. And then exhale, let it out. Let those hands sink down into your stomach. We're going to do 2 more. Really concentrate, breathe into it. Working the diaphragm muscle. And then exhale, let it go. Once more. A nice, slow, smooth, full breath. And then exhale it out. Sinking all the way down. Good. Release the hands to the sides. Shake your head right and left like you're shaking your head no. Saying no to things that no longer serve you. Drop your knees to one side. Whichever side feels most open. Stretch that bottom arm up overhead. And then roll to that side rib. Push yourself up. Slowly 1 inch at a time. Come up to a comfortable seat, whatever feels comfortable for you. You can have legs swept to one side. You can sit in Sukhasana or crisscross. You can kneel in hero's pose. Rest with palms up. And then if if you'd like to join me in a mudra, connect your index thumb. Just means one. You're a little more at one with your body, with your breath. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day.